3 times 7 is 21. And this is episode 21 of Smooth Traffic. As always, I have Robert King and Benny Pierce keeping me in check to stop me doing things I shouldn't do. Hello.
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 So, in this episode, we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about our birthday. It's 1 year. 1 year of Smooth Traffic. We're going to talk about some Vauxhalls and some Volvos that I've been to drive. And we're also going to have some chats about trains. Also, don't forget, there is going to be an episode of the hit game show Deadliest Boot Spaces in this episode, so keep your ears open for that one.
Smooth Traffic's been going for 12 months, lads.
Hey!
Yeah! Birthday cake! Can I have one of them caterpillars with the candles in?
Do you know what, John? No.
Bloody hell.
How do we feel about being 12 months old?
Thoroughly entertained.
I mean, I don't even know what it's like to be 30 yet, so... I mean, I'm feeling pretty good about it. I think it's been a great year.
Highlights, John?
Oh, I mean... Highlights have got to be the road trip for me. Or the road trips, I should say. I think we had some crackers. Some real crackers. You know, the one tank to Frank. Yeah, one tank to Frank. How great was that? That was really, really cool. You know, we got to see another country. We got to see 3 other countries, I think. Was that in the end, or was it 4? I think it was 4. France, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Germany.
Oh yeah, we dipped into the Netherlands, didn't we?
Dipped into the Netherlands, yeah. Got to go to our first international motor show. You know, we completed the challenge as well. We got wet, which would obviously follow on over into end-to-end as well in the Caterham 420R, where we got soaked, as you can listen to in the last episode 20 on your device. And it seems to be a bit of a theme that we just have really soaking road trips, but you know, fingers crossed for the next one. But yeah, I think the road trips for me were the highlight. SMMT Day was good as well.
Ben Pierce, highlights for you, having not been on either of the road trips or the SMMT Day.
Oh, I love the text messages from you guys when you're on those road trips getting soaking wet. Brings
Shocking.
me joy.
Just the happiness that you've made the right decision.
Absolutely. There's been some good stuff we've done. You know, Formula E was good fun. We went to see that recently.
I enjoyed the Formula E, actually. I thought that was really good value. You know, it's a bit different and it's a bit modern. It's not for everyone, but I thought it was really good value, actually. I thought it was a decent day out for the price. And
it rained there as well.
It did.
It did. Yeah.
We stayed dry there, fortunately.
Oh, only just. But yeah, I mean, although Ben hasn't been on the road trips, he has been quite important in providing technical support and moral support behind the scenes. So, although he wasn't there in body, he was there in spirit and expensive equipment.
Absolutely. Without Ben, who knows how many electrical devices you'd have broken, John?
I dread to think.
And who knows how many times I'd have killed you?
You didn't kill me when you found out you had to do the Boot Space Challenge in your Alfa Romeo Mito.
Why would I kill you? That was fun.
Are you sure?
I enjoy the Boot Space Challenges.
Okay. Well, I'll line up.
We need to get me in more boots.
All right. If that's how it is, I'll find some more boots for you, King.
Excellent.
If you want to take the challenge, I'll find some more boots. Might even, get Ben squeezing there with you.
No,
do you remember when I laughed inside your arse, Ben?
Not a highlight. I'd like to
Classic Smooth Traffic. Yeah, we got a lot to look forward to in the coming year as well, haven't we? Obviously, we're going to put some galleries up soon from our Formula E visit back in London at the end of last season, and a lot of pictures from our Caterham trip. We're going to put a gallery of that up as well. And to kick off the second year of Smooth Traffic's life, I'm going to be driving some cars as well. Perhaps most impressively so far, I have got myself a test in the new Caterham 310, which is their new model that we couldn't even talk about until a couple of weeks ago. So that's very exciting. We'll probably be in quite a good position to comment on that, but I'm not sure exactly when the test is going to be yet, but we're going to get it penciled in, and I'm once again going to be uncomfortable, hopefully not wet.
We've also got the SMMT South Day at the end of September, where hopefully we'll get to drive some tasty vehicles once again in the plush surroundings of somewhere in the south of England.
Hampshire, and that is just 2 days
Yes.
before my birthday, so that's the perfect way to kick off my annual festivities.
Yep, Jonny will finally be turning 30, so here's to then.
No, I won't.
Yeah, you will. I've checked the numbers, John. You thought you were 28, but I'm afraid you're actually 29.
Oh well, no biggie. I still look 28. That's the main thing.
Keep telling yourself that. Said the guy who looks 54. So yeah, exciting times ahead for Smooth Traffic.
And I'm working on some very, very cool stuff in the background at the moment that I'm not allowed to tell you about, so I'm not going to tell you about it. All I'm going to say is, it's really big and cool. So just, keep your eyes out. Keep your eyes out on my Twitter. Keep your ears out, Stay tuned. So, if you've logged on to smoothtraffic.co.uk recently, you'll have seen that I've done an interview with Italian YouTube sensation Davide Cironi. Davide is a fantastic driver and just a fantastic chap when it comes to talking about cars. His YouTube channel has got over 80,000 subscribers now. He's driven so many classics: Ferrari Testarossa, Lancia Delta, Bugatti EB110, a Williams Clio, 205 GTI. He's driven so many classic cars and he's got such passionate opinions on them. So I thought, let's get him in to an email, sit him down in an email and have a chat with him about cars, life, all sorts of things really. And the interview's now up live on smoothtraffic.co.uk, and I think it's a really, really good read. It's a lot more passionate and interesting than just a normal interview, I would say, and it's come out really, really well. I think it's a very good insight into this man, and this man is going somewhere. Keep your eye on him. Have a look at David Cironi's drive experience on YouTube, because he's going to go somewhere. I've absolute faith in him, and I think he's got a fantastic channel, great film crew. He's excellent on camera, the way he explains things, talks about things. The passion just oozes out of him. So yeah, check him out, drop him a subscribe, and read the interview and let us know what you think. Well, I am back from Scotland and Ascot and London. I've been all over the place this week. I've been driving a lot of new cars this week. I've been driving the brand new Volvo S90 Saloon and V90 Estate, and the Vauxhall Zafira Tourer, which is again refreshed, and the new Vauxhall Mocha X.
So which did you drive where, Jonny?
Well, I had to go up to Scotland to drive the Zafira Tourer and the Mocha X, so I went up to Edinburgh. I took a train. And we went out into the countryside around Edinburgh to sort of drive the cars around and stuff, which was really, really lovely, as you know, Kingy. We did the Scotland trip, fantastic place. And yeah, actually, it wasn't too bad, actually, because the Mocha has got a reputation as one of these cars that is a bit lackluster, uninspiring. But it actually wasn't too bad. It was very, very comfortable. The engine wasn't particularly great, and the gearbox was a bit sloppy, a bit like that Ibiza Cupra we drove that time, King. It just sort of didn't quite go in the way we'd like it to. I don't know if you remember that gearbox. It was
flashbacks.
It was a bit like that, and the clutch had a strange biting point, so it was really difficult to drive smoothly. But it was okay. It was okay. I mean, you can't really give the Vauxhall Mocha much more than that, because it's a little bit expensive what it is. I mean, the one I tested was over £20,000, which is a lot of money for a small crossover like that, I think. And it doesn't particularly drive that well, apart from the comfort aspect of things. I mean, it's got a four-wheel drive system now, but we didn't get a chance to test the four-wheel drive system on any sort of off-road stuff. So I don't really know what they're aiming at here. But the Mocha always sells quite a lot of cars, so it'll probably sell some more.
Who are they actually aiming it at? Who's buying them?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think small families mostly. Small families and people who want to have a little bit of a lifestyle look about them. Do you know those types of people? People who occasionally go hiking or windsurfing or that kind of thing. Countryside people. But I don't know if it's really that well suited to that, because the boot isn't particularly massive. You can get roof bars and stuff on that, and you've got the little four-wheel drive system now. But I just kind of think if you're going to do like proper outdoor pursuity stuff, you'd probably want a proper 4x4. Or a pickup truck even, because a pickup truck wouldn't be much more expensive than that. But again, they aren't so good in an urban environment, and the Mocha is. So it's a bit of a strange car, but like I said, it always seems to sell well, so I expect more of the same with that one. Although I prefer the Peugeot 2008 that I drove earlier this year. More comfortable, more stylish, just better and more enjoyable, actually. And I didn't think I'd say that about the 2008, but it just is. And I got to test that with some off-road stuff as well. I'm always a bit wary when manufacturers give you the chance to test a car and then don't give you the sort of right conditions to test the car in, because Peugeot basically just cordoned off a field. They probably hired a field off some farmer somewhere, and filled it with certain sand and wet mud and stuff, and they just altered it so you could try out the different settings on the 4-wheel drive system. But we didn't get a chance to do any of that in the Mocha. It was all road based, so I can't say for sure how the all-wheel drive system actually performs. I mean, I took it down like a wet gravel track in the national park in Scotland somewhere, one of them, there's billions, and it was okay, but it wasn't a proper test really. I think any car would have got up and down a wet gravel track nowadays with the advancements in stability control and traction control and all that. So I think it's more of an image thing. People just want the 4x4 sort of badge on the back of the car. Makes them look a bit more serious.
Well, talking of serious, let's move on to Volvo then, John.
Yes.
So you were down in Ascot for some Volvo driving.
Yeah, I was really, really impressed with the new Volvo. Ben would love the new Volvo S19 V90. He would love it because it's the kind of car that is just very Ben Pearce. It's incredibly stylish. It's incredibly comfortable. It's just packed full of tech, like sort of semi-autonomous systems again, Ben. That kind of thing that you get really moist about, and it's just supremely comfortable. It's not fancy. It's just class, and that's just a very Ben Pearce kind of car, I think. Yeah, you should go and test drive one, Ben, because that would be a great future Ben Pearce car, definitely. The interior is fantastic. I mean, you've probably seen the pictures of the exterior as well, that sort of sleek saloon estate design it's got, and sort of spectacular rear light cluster. It doesn't work so well on the saloon, but on the estate it looks fantastic. And yeah, it's just so comfortable and so relaxing to drive. The weight of the steering is completely different to like BMW and Audis and Mercedes offering. It's much lighter, much softer. Even the materials on the wheel are different. And like the wood inside the car on the interior actually feels like real wood. I don't know if it is real wood, but it actually feels like real wood. So it's so light and airy in there, and it's just really refreshing, because in all the German cars we just get black plastic, black leather, black all the time. It makes a real change to have sort of the sort of cream leather and wood options. It's just lovely. There's going to be a hybrid version coming next year as well, Ben, which you'll be interested in.
Yeah, a bit interesting to see if that works.
Yeah, well, hopefully when it comes out we'll get to drive it again, and then we can see which one we prefer. For me though, I'd have the estate. I think Volvo estates are always quite cool, and this one is really stylish, so it's even more cool. Plus it's got wood inside. Everyone loves wood. I love wood.
So we've heard. There is also a video on our YouTube channel of John having a quick poke around the car, should you wish to go and see it in the flesh. See John in the flesh.
Yeah, see me in the flesh. That's more important.
So what were you doing in London?
What was I doing in London?
Yeah.
Yep, you said you went to Scotland, Ascot and London.
I did go to London. I was doing something called commuting. Now,
Ooh.
I believe this is something you're familiar with, Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the noise I made as well when I realised I had to get off a train and get on another train. Why can't a train just go from A to B? All these connections are rubbish. Yeah, London is a terrible place to visit, I've decided. And it's a terrible place to try and find your way around. The underground map makes no sense. The people in London are incredibly rude. The tickets for the London Underground or any train service never work, so I always have to approach an assistant who refuses to talk to me. He just lets me through and glares at me. All in all, it was just a tremendously awful experience. Just commuting is just terrible. And actually, chaps, I've helpfully drawn up a list of 3 questions. And these 3 questions decide whether you're the type of person who needs to get a car or just needs to take public transport. And I think this is going to prove very helpful for all of the listeners out there, because as we all know, Smooth Traffic takes consumer advice very seriously indeed. So I thought I'd just run these 3 questions by you to see if they would help you decide whether you need a car or public transport. So question 1, do you like migraines?
That's a resounding no.
For argument's sake, though, John, let's say that I'm some kind of
Sadist.
heavy metal enthusiast.
Yeah.
And I love a good migraine.
Cool. No, that's fine. Let's say Kingy says yes to this question. Ben has said no. That's fine. So that's 1 point to Kingy there. 1 point.
Ooh, I'm winning.
The next one is, do you like losing money?
Well, conveniently, as well as being a heavy metal enthusiast, I'm also a filthy banker by day. So therefore the answer to that question is yes.
Excellent. Ben, I assume as a filthy banker, you don't always like to lose money, just occasionally when it's other people's.
I was going to say, not if I can help it. Yeah, let's go for no then.
Okie doke, okie doke. So the last question is, do you like taking twice as long to get to places?
Conveniently, John, as a filthy banker, I have a lot of work to do, so it's important that I can have extra time to do that work. So I love taking twice as long to get to places.
Excellent answer, King.
By the way, Ben, I'm being you right now.
I was going to say, I feel like I'm being attacked here.
No, that's an excellent answer, Kingy. Excellent answer. And Ben, I assume you're going to give the Rob King response to that.
Well, absolutely. Which is no.
Which is no.
Can I have some cake? Yeah.
Rob King scored 3 in this very, very important consumer advice piece, which means that, yes, you definitely need to take public transport. So, well done for that, King. Ben scored none. And that means Ben is a normal person and needs to get a car. So, congratulations to Ben for also giving all the right answers. I'm not really sure what this has proven, but I did notice that question 2 was irrelevant in a way, because cars cost you money as well. It's just, when you spend money on a car, you feel like you've spent it on something worthwhile and not on a 2-foot cubic space in an animal transporter.
You're lucky if you get a seat for your hundreds of pounds, that's what it is.
Once again, top consumer advice from Smooth Traffic.
I like to be as helpful as I can.
And obviously, London Underground, if you'd like to sponsor this podcast. Unfortunately, we don't want your business, so good day.
Screw you, London Underground, and sort your train ticket things, because they don't scan, or, they don't... They just get sucked up, and then they tell me to go away. What's up with that? Rubbish.
This is user error, isn't it?
Yeah, this is definitely user error.
This is
keeping
not
your ticket with
user
your
error.
phone.
Absolutely. Yeah, I am. Why?
Because phones tend to wipe the tickets.
What do you mean phones wipe the tickets?
I think it's the NFC chip, something like that.
Really?
Have you not heard this? You shouldn't ever keep your ticket with your phone.
So why have I got a ticket pocket in my phone case?
I'll speak to your phone case manufacturer.
That's also why you shouldn't, if you stay in a hotel that's got key cards, that's also why you shouldn't keep the key card near your phone, because that can wipe the key card. So then when you go into the hotel room and it doesn't let you in, then you have to go all the way back to reception and say, my card doesn't work.
That has happened once. But that was with a real key.
No, that happened to me once in a hotel that I stayed at for 4 nights. And 3 of those 4 nights, when I got back to the hotel after being at work, couldn't get in.
How did you sleep, King?
Well, I had to go down to the reception and get them to reprogram the card. I'm sure they were sick to the back teeth of me by the end of the week.
I must have thought you were a right moron.
This is why you shouldn't send me on business trips.
Fair point. But anyway, the train system is rubbish. It doesn't work in any way. And it took me hours and hours and hours to get anywhere, and it was horrible. And on the way back, I was surrounded by a load of drunk Portuguese women handing out whiskey to goons. So, and that's not pleasant for anyone. There have been many fantastic game shows in the history of television, but none of them compare to Deadliest Boot Spaces, the hit game show created by me.
Deadliest Boot Spaces.
As you might know already if you've been listening to the podcast, 6 litres of water when drunk is enough to kill you. So with that in mind, we take a look at the boot spaces of the following to see which is the more deadly. So, lads, you have to choose which one you think is the more deadliest. And I've come up with a bit of a curveball on this one. An Olympic swimming pool or 500 Vauxhall Vivaros. Now, Kingy, I know you're a big fan of the Vauxhall Vivaro because, it's got a special meaning to you, hasn't it?
Has it?
I think so. If I remember right, the Vauxhall Vivaro is the vehicle we used to help Ben move house.
Oh, of course, yes. It's a fantastic vehicle.
And you were very impressed with it because you drove it around like all day.
Yeah, I was. I enjoyed it. It was very pleasant. Probably one of the best vans I've driven.
Just hurling abuse out the window and cranking up the radio.
That's basically what I did.
That was John, not me.
Yeah, I read The Sun in the passenger seat and just looked out the window and tried to tan my left arm, really.
Did you defecate on the walls of any service stations?
No, that's only lorry drivers that do that, Ben.
Oh, Christ. Can we get off of this?
Anyway, yes, you have to choose. Which is the more deadly if you had to drink the capacity of an Olympic swimming pool or 500 Vauxhall Vivaro vans?
500?
500. Completely standard Vauxhall Vivaro van. Nothing fancy, not a long wheelbase, nothing like that. It's just a standard Vauxhall Vivaro van. You've gone into your local Vauxhall dealer, King, because you're finally going to set up King Removals.
Okay.
And you've just said, Oi, Dean, because every Vauxhall salesman is probably called Dean. Dean, sell me a Vauxhall Vivaro now. And he's gone, all right, Gov, no problem.
I can do you a deal on 500.
Yep.
And if you've got an Olympic-sized swimming pool, you can park them in there.
Can you?
I've got absolutely no idea. And I've been better at this game when I've let you decide, King, and then I've just come up with the other one. So again, I might leave that tactic.
Oh, I don't know where to begin.
Well, let me begin by giving you a clue, because this one is very unusual, very different. An Olympic swimming pool holds 2.5 million litres of water. 2.5 million litres of water.
I can hear his brain whirring now. Quick maths.
Oh, Christ. 500 of the Vivaro.
500 Vauxhall Vivaros, yeah. You've basically propped up Vauxhall for another year in the motoring industry by purchasing 500 Vivaros.
I like to do what I can, you know?
Yeah, you're a good man, King. You're a good man.
Oh, I'm just dragging this out and it's going to seem really boring to the listener.
One of you is just going to have to take a punt on this one, because there is just no way. There's no way to tell, basically. Unless you happen to know the capacity of a Vauxhall Vivaro in litres. As it turns out, I do.
Well, you do now.
I've done my research this time. I've done some proper research. Another little, not really a clue, but another little nugget of information here. In terms of the number of deaths, both of these give a recurring death number, which means you'll get death looped. Your final death will be looped for eternity. So whichever one you choose, you're going to lose.
I mean, that's bad, isn't it?
Recurring deaths, I mean, that's as bad as it gets.
Eternal death.
Eternal death with both of these.
As opposed to normal when it's not recurring. Yeah.
What do you think, Kingy? You're the one who likes to go in... well, actually, no, Ben, you normally jump in first on these, don't you?
Yeah, and I lose. No, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to say that the Vivaros are going to kill you more times. And that's because there's an irritating round number of Vivaros as well. If it was an odd number, I would have gone for the swimming pool.
That's interesting. So Ben's electing for 500 Vauxhall Vivaros being more dangerous. Okay, Kingy?
Well, I mean, I guess I've got to go with the swimming pool, haven't I?
Yes, you have. So, Kingy's choosing the Olympic swimming pool. So, the Olympic swimming pool, 2.5 million litres of water. That means it will kill you 416,666 times recurring. There's some more sixes. I haven't done my research, really. So 416,666 times. The Vauxhall Vivaro has 5,200 litres of space.
Oh.
Which means 500 Vauxhall Vivaros will kill you 433,333 times, recurring. So the Vauxhall Vivaro, Ben, congratulations. Once again, you've won this edition of Deadliest Boot Spaces. And so, you know, if you need to fill up an Olympic swimming pool, buy 500 Vauxhall Vivaros and back them into the space and unload them. That's probably the best way of doing it. Another little fact, just to finish this one off, if you were to drink 500 Vauxhall Vivaros load capacities, it would take you 9 years and 9 months to drink, providing you were drinking the safe recommended limit of 2 litres of water a day. So nearly a decade to drink all of those Vauxhall Vivaros load bays.
Good fact.
What a fantastic game show this is. Oh, come on, ITV. This is better than the usual dross you put out. Sign me up. Tweet me at Smooth Traffic. Ooh, I wonder what the score is. 3 to Benny. 4 to Kingy.
Okay, so you know that on our Smooth Traffic YouTube account we have some Forza 6 videos, don't we?
That is true.
Which is probably one of the most impressive racing games we've played. Well, I have an exciting announcement because I've bought a PS4.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, which means we can have a little look at some other interesting racing games. And I've already bought one. I bought Project Cars, which was 2015's Game of the Year, I believe.
Yeah. It's been very well rated, I think.
Yeah, I got it for a really ripe price of £23 in Sainsbury's. And I had some Nectar points, so...
Oh.
Cash back.
Yeah, and I've already made some clips of it, Ben. But because I literally know nothing about technology,
I will need your assistance to edit them into something we can put on the Tube of You, because I literally have just pressed save on the video clips. But first impressions are really, really, really good, and I think it actually might be better than Forza 6.
Big claim.
In terms of realism and in terms of involving you in the experience of driving as a video game, of course. So just stay tuned for that, because I'm going to try and save as many video clips as I can, and then I'll do a little bit of commentary over the top just to explain to you what's going on and what my impressions of the game are, and hopefully we can compare it to Forza 6 and maybe have a look at some upcoming PlayStation exclusive driving video games, because obviously Gran Turismo Sport is out I think later this year.
Yeah, are they aiming for November, were they?
Yeah, they're probably aiming for November, but we'll probably see it in July or October next year, because Polyphony Digital are always late on Gran Turismo releases. So we'll have a look at that, compare it to that, and if you guys can think of anything else in the meantime you'd like me to play PlayStation 4-wise in terms of driving games, then just let me know. Maybe we can take a look at Dirt Rally or Assetto Corsa.
I was going to say Assetto Corsa.
Yeah, that's the new one out. So let me know, and if I see anything at a bargain price in Sainsbury's, I will snap it up with my nectar points and maybe treat myself to some Giovanni Rana pasta at the same time.
Another thing on the Xbox One, I think we've got Forza Horizon 3 coming out in the next couple of weeks. I think end of September, so that could be a good one as well.
Have we? I've heard good things about that, Ben. I've heard they've expanded the world by something like double.
Yeah, it's it's going to be at least a lot bigger.
Nice.
Yeah. No, we'll look forward to trying that out as well.
Right, well, the other day I was having a little look on Twitter, and by the other day I think I mean yesterday. It's all a bit hazy at the moment. But anyway, Rory Reid of Top Gear asked the question on Twitter, is it ever acceptable to own a replica car? And I thought I'd run that question by you guys to see what you think, because I have fairly strong opinions on it.
Define replica car.
Well, like, you can get like AC Cobras, you can buy them for many, many thousands of pounds, original ones. You can also get kit cars, replicas of that car that have the similar engine, similar gearbox, but aren't actually that car.
Do you kind of mean like the Caterham 7 is to the Lotus 7?
Ooh. No, that's completely wrong, Ben, and I shun you.
Fair enough. I was just trying to think of what I'd heard of.
I think I know what John means. As in, obviously, the AC Cobra is a good example. But also, do you mean people that will sort of build a kit car that's meant to look like a Ferrari, but it's on a Toyota Supra?
Yeah,
okay,
or MR2
or
platform or something like that. Yeah, I think that's a fair comparison.
In which case, no.
Is the right answer. Ben?
Well, I almost feel like saying yes because for a discussion, but no, I can't see any reason why that would be sensible. I mean, that's just hiding it, isn't it? That's like, I've got a nice car, but not really. I don't. Why would you do that? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Well, if you want the car, surely just hiding a different chassis over a crappy car just. I mean, why would you do it? I can't get my head around that.
Well, this is what annoys me, because you see it a lot with people getting 250 GTO bodies and driving around like they're piloting one of the most expensive cars in the world.
Yeah.
When in fact it's just cost them a tenner from home base.
Yeah. Not everyone can be Bruce Springsteen.
Precisely. And that's why I personally don't agree with it. I think if you want, as you say, Ben, if you want a car, rather than just knocking one up to look like it, work hard, save your money. Maybe one day you'll make that dream.
Chase the dream.
It's kind of like having a fake watch or knock off designer goods. It's like you're sort of showing it off for no reason. I don't understand. You're not getting the benefit of the quality of the. If you get like a fake Rolex, you're not getting a quality watch. You're just getting something that's a cheap replica. So you're only doing it for showing off reasons, and that's just petty, isn't it?
It's a bit sad, isn't it?
It is, especially if you like cars or watches or whatever it is that you're buying to show off. It's ridiculous.
I imagine there is a small proportion of these people who have only done it because they're paying homage to the particular car, because maybe they know that it's completely out of reach. The 250 GTO is again a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
But on the whole, I completely agree, Ben. It's no different to getting a fake Rolex or a fake Breitling.
I mean, if you're doing it sort of inspired by, so you get a car that's got similar characteristics to a Ferrari or something in the way it's shaped, but it's clearly not exactly the same. It's you've done something a bit different to it. Then I don't see a problem with that. But trying to make it look exactly the same, it seems that's wrong. I think.
That's an interesting point, actually. Inspired by, because I saw a Fiat 500 today on the motorway, and it had Martini livery, a white Fiat 500 with Martini livery, and it looked really, really good. And often, a lot of the times, these sort of modifications and alterations that have been made to cars just end up looking crap. But that actually looked really smart, and that was kind of inspired by, well, obviously Italian kind of produce, and obviously the Williams Formula One cars at the moment are white with Martini liveries. It looked really, really good. I was actually really impressed with it. I actually thought that's something I might do one day. And then I thought, maybe not. Maybe maybe people would take the piss.
I think that's slightly different though, John.
Yeah.
In terms of, well, obviously with the Martini livery, all you're doing is just putting a livery on your car.
Yeah.
It's no different to getting some cool Go Faster stripes and putting them down the sides of your Renault Clio 1.2 or whatever.
Yeah, like you can't have a Renault Clio that's inspired by a Dodge Viper GTS.
Precisely.
It doesn't work. It has to be something that's, similar, related.
It's funny you say that. A few days ago, I saw a Ford Cougar, which had been painted to look like an old Mustang. So stripes down the centre, and they just got the stripes too close together.
Oh, if you're going to do it, get it right at least.
Oh, I
yeah,
know.
you've got to.
It's just poor.
That would never pass in the smooth traffic technology department, would it? You'd never let me do that. If my stripes were too close together, you would pull me out of the garage immediately and say, look, Johnny, if this isn't 7.3 centimetres apart, we're not doing it.
I would say if you're the one in the garage painting the stripes on the car,
something's
we've
gone horribly wrong at that
seriously
point.
Painting them by hand. So that's good then, because we're all kind of agreed in a way then that replicas are not the way to go. And also, for the money of a replica, you could buy another good car for that price.
Yeah.
Say a replica is £10,000. You could get a really good car for £10,000.
Volkswagen Up.
A Volkswagen Up, exactly. Or something even classic you can get for 10 grand and run it. Just something a bit fun, a bit different. Maybe an old Jag or something like that. Maybe an old XJ.
They are very cheap.
Yeah, I mean, they're ridiculous cheap. They're a 4-litre V8 supercharged, and it's a few £1,000s. That's better than getting a replica car and pretending you're Billy Big Balls and you've really only got an MR2 chassis.
I'd be interested to hear what other people think of this, though.
Yeah, actually, if you have any opinions on this, do tweet us at Smooth Traffic, or at the Johnny Edge, or at Robert King ESQ, or at the Face of Ben.
And involve Rory Reid as well.
Yeah,
I'd like to know his comments on this.
Yeah, tweet Rory as well, and just have a word with him. Tell him what you think, because he's a nice guy.
Is he a fan of the replicas?
He's a fan of Smooth Traffic.
For legal purposes, I'd like to say that we have no proof of that, and please don't contact us, BBC.
But Rory Reid, if you would like to sponsor the podcast, please do tweet us at Smooth Traffic.
So, as we've already mentioned, we've now been going for 1 whole year, and to celebrate this, we've decided to hold an awards ceremony.
Hooray!
That's what people do nowadays.
Hold your applause, guys. So, this is the Smooth Traffic Awards, otherwise known as the Smoothies.
Nice.
Now, what we intend to do is actually just issue some tweets over the next week or so, just announcing the winners of the various categories. Just to give you a flavour of what we're going for, we've got the award for the best motorway service station with a butcher, award for the worst motorway service station in the southeast of England, award for the best wooden car, excluding concept cars. There will also be a smoothie for the best smoothies. But to kick things off right now, we're going to open with the award for the most recoveries of a Smooth Traffic member.
And I have the golden envelope. And I am delighted to announce that the award for most recoveries of a Smooth Traffic member goes to... Can you insert a jingle in this bit, King?
I can definitely insert a jingle here.
Nice. The AA!
Woo!
Bloody fantastic. The AA have consistently proven themselves in recovering Smooth Traffic members with punctures over the last 12 months. And they have been fantastic in every way. They've even helped a man in trouble with a caterum.
True.
And that deserves the award for most recoveries of a Smooth Traffic member on its own. But on top of that, the punctures, the camaraderie on Twitter, and the fact they helped me repair a caterum, nobody deserves it more than the AA. So congratulations, the AA. And a really cheap plastic trophy will be on its way to you sometime within the next 12 months.
So there we go. Keep an eye out on social media for the rest of the smoothies. Maybe there'll even be an extra one just as a clever surprise if anyone takes any interest whatsoever.
Everyone likes a smoothie.
2 times 11. That'll be the next episode of Smooth Traffic, episode 22. For now, we've reached the end of episode 21, which, as I said earlier, was 3 times 7. Helpful mathematic revisions for all of you maths people out there. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us as always. Rob, Ben, thank you for, keeping me within the limits of myself. And, next week, we're going to have some interesting stuff to talk about. We're going to have the return of the 5-car garage. You thought it was over. It wasn't over.
And as ever, don't forget to tweet us at Smooth Traffic, at the Jonny Edge, at Robert King ESQ, or of course at the Face of Ben, should you have any technological questions. That's it from us. Check out Instagram, check out YouTube, and watch out for our video diaries from the Smooth Traffic Summer Road Trip 2016.